Hi there, I'm Dan from Doughty Engineering and this is Lowell.
Hi.
Today we'll be doing a brief overview of our aluminium clamp range. This is by no means exhaustive, but it'll give you an idea of the range of clamps that we make. We'll start here with the Doughty clamp. This is where it all began, the T5 7000.
Yep, 50mm wide aluminium half coupler, extremely strong. Strongest clamp we do, 750 kg working load limit. Absolutely the standard part in our range. Available in black or silver, polished finishes. I think Dan's got the black as well.
Do I recall you telling me that once, was it the Uchtung Baby U2 tour?
Holding the Trabants.
Holding a Trabant up in the air.
Yeah, super proud. Seeing basically the lighting rig, which was all Trabants, held by these couplers with rings on the bottom. Yeah, very, very cool.
Yeah.
Used all over the world in every major production and the standard in our range.
That's a fixed 90 version, so basically two of them just bolted back to back and then a roll pin to go and hold them at a fixed 90 orientation. Swivel version.
Yep, same clamps, not pinned in this case.
Couple of hanging versions. Different ratings.
Different ratings on the eyes. We also do a pink eye rub nut version, which swivels.
Allows different fleet angles.
Different fleet angles, the only one, and a full 750 kg load.
Yeah.
Remarkable bit of kit.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
I think it even has a chip in the rub nut, doesn't it, for IDing?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, very
fantastic.
28mm spigot version.
Which people use to suspend, but most of the time you see it with a bit of aluminium tubing in the top of a stand. We call it a Big Bang clamp.
Which actually, funnily enough, we're being lit by right now.
That's a TV Doughty clamp, which is basically a receiver for a 28mm TV spigot. So it would normally just go together with one in that time. Again, TV studios all over the world, super strong.
Yeah, a big seller. Slimline versions.
Again, 30mm across rather than 50, but still have the same loading, 750 kg. Absolutely fantastic.
And also
Super
very
strong.
handy if you need to get in between truss cords.
Where the big 50mm wides tend to get in the way.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's it for the full fat Doughties, and we're down to slimline Doughties now. Oh, sorry, slimline lightweight Doughties.
Yeah, indeed. The next range after the standard Doughty clamp we call lightweight couplers. They're not particularly lightweight in their loadings.
No, but lightweight in themselves.
And we do, again, a 50mm wide variation and a 30mm wide variation, ideal for truss. But their loadings are still between 500 kilos and 300 kilos, so still super strong.
Yeah.
And again, pretty much all of these couplers are available powder coated black or polished aluminium. We can do special colours to order, as we can with most of our.
And that's the same for most of the range.
And there's more of the same. And that's the 50mm wide versions of the same clamp. So again, lightweight, but 500 kilos. So the clamp itself is light, but the load it holds isn't.
Then we have a couple of speciality couplers. There's a side entry, very handy in certain scenarios, that one.
It's a really strange thing and quite often doesn't make a lot of sense until you're in a situation where actually a normal coupler won't fit.
Yeah.
And really useful. Again, we do a slimline version and a 50mm wide version.
Excellent for restricted access scenarios.
Yeah, really quite smart.
Low profile coupler.
Yeah, again, a variation on a theme. We call it a low profile coupler. It's the same pretty much as our weld coupler, which we use on boom arms.
Yep.
It has a sort of interesting fixing with it really, and uses a slope shoulder bolt, a specific bolt. What I would say about it is it's not an easy bolt to find if you lose one. M12 and M10 standard bolts,
no.
Get them from absolutely anywhere.
Yeah.
These are a bit of a pain to get.
Well, we hold them.
We hold them. You can get them from us, but if you're stuck in the middle of
somewhat more awkward.
Middle of San Francisco on a dark, rainy night, you're not going to find them.
Next up are some super lightweights, great little clamps.
Yeah, the lightest out of all the aluminium half couplers, the lightest rating ones we do. Yeah, really, really small and light, really clever, designed to be used without tools with this knob on the end.
Which is actually captivated, so you can't lose it, which when you're up at the top of the truss is very important. And although they're super lightweight, they're still 100 kilo rated.
Yeah, and they are super, super strong.
I mean, that's more than me.
And they are a remarkable little bit of kit. Again, we see thousands of them, used all the time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something specific for them. I think like all of these half couplers, they're designed to fit 48 to 51 mil OD tube.
Yeah.
Quite important, they are designed for that. We do specific clamps to fit smaller ones, specific clamps to fit bigger tubes, which we'll come to.
I think it's also worth saying at this stage that all of our couplers are covered by our TUV accreditation. We do periodic testing of every clamp or every family of clamp. We test the material before it comes in and before it's machined. We then do load testing. We might do a video later on looking at the load testing because that's really quite interesting. The safe working load is arrived at as a multiple of what it can actually take. And although there are similar clamps to ours on the market, as no doubt everyone's seen, doesn't necessarily mean they're made out of the same material or that they're made to the same standards just because they look the same. Next one up's a Mammoth.
Yeah, Mammoth, basically designed for larger tubes, made to go on 60 to 63 mil OD tubes, so bigger. Looks much the same as the other couplers, but definitely sort of larger scale. I think they always used to call it gas barrel.
Yeah.
Sort of 60, 63 mil.
It's sort of quite a lot in Germany as well.
Yeah, and in certain bits of Europe, I think you see
Yeah.
it more. Don't see it in the UK quite as often,
No.
but certainly a clamp we sell quite a lot of. Super strong again, 500 kilos.
Which brings us neatly on to the Whopper, the Titan.
Yeah, which again is part of our quick trigger range. Quick triggers, we do 3 types. We do a baby, standard one, and the Titan. The Titan's absolutely enormous. It's the clamp with the biggest, that will fit the biggest OD tube we do.
Yeah.
And it will do 48, but open right up to 80.
Yeah, it's huge.
And we find, I always think, well, you're never ever going to find 80 mil OD pipe.
No.
But it does exist.
Yes,
and there are, you do find random things. So it's quite useful. It's pretty vast.
I saw a couple holding up a massive, I think it was Nari head, a few weeks back. And yet they look in scale when you put a big enough light underneath them.
I can imagine, yeah. And the 3 couplers in that range, in fact, I say 3, there's 3 slimline ones, but there are actually wider ones as well.
Yeah.
Are basically Titan, which we're shown there, but I don't know if you want the standard one.
The standard one.
Which is 38 to 51 mil OD tube, fantastic clamp.
And do you want your favourite?
Biggest selling. There's the black version of it, my favourite clamp in the world. Absolutely fantastic. Our biggest selling coupler, I think.
And it's genuinely nice to use. It's a really nice clamp.
They really are nice.
Yeah.
And the baby.
Yes, which is quite sweet.
Which is basically 25 to 38, I think.
Yeah.
But it's just a baby version of it.
And for micro truss, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Still got a surprising load of, it still does 40 kgs, even though it's tiny.
Which is remarkable.
And it is exactly the same clamp scaled down.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
And we also do a wider version of the quick trigger, non-slimline version, 50 mil across. Bigger loading, 250 kg.
Yeah.
Just as nice to use as the other one, but not so practical with truss.
No, but gives you a little bit more stability being 50 mil wide rather than 30 mil.
Yeah, and for heavier, really heavy fixtures, we see it on sort of speakers and things like that, which are,
you're sort of, adding a dynamic.
Yeah.
Then the original trigger clamp.
Yeah, which was
where it
sort
began
of
with the triggers.
our first design really, which is still quite a clever bit of kit. So as soon as you hook it over the bar, it lifts it up, and in theory it shouldn't fall off. Sometimes can be a pain where the knob, where the eye
located inside the truss.
Inside the truss, you need fingers like ET generally to do it up.
Yeah.
But it is fantastic for in certain places for over rigging, which we kind of quite often don't recommend on most couplers, but this one we're kind of pretty good with.
I think the major advantage with that is because it's actually a closed face clamp, so it fully encapsulates the tube. You can use it in different orientations, sort of with a reasonable degree of confidence. I mean, with an open face clamp, we don't recommend that you use it on a vertical tube or in adverse rigging scenarios.
Yeah, that's very true. But it's quite a versatile clamp. Again, sell a lot of them, and without that, we wouldn't have gone to slimline quick trigger.
Indeed, and for certain situations, that's still definitely got its place.
Really useful. Yeah.
And then should we finish with?
Finish with the babies.
An Atom.
So
makes it look like you've got massive hands.
So absolutely fantastic mini versions. We do, I mean, we call them Atom clamps, but we do basically suitable ones for 25mm, 32mm, 35mm, 38mm, which should covers a lot of stand tubes if you want to do stuff on uprights. Strangely, we see them used for all kind of crazy things. On the Ministry of Defence use them on the rails of tanks. To hold all kind of things, strange things on.
Actually, it was in a boat factory. I think I've seen them as well.
I think one of the major boat companies use them on the handrails because they don't damage the stainless handrails.
And you'll often see them on various versions on filming rigs for cars, and certainly in certain blockbusters of late, you'll see the behind the scenes stuff. You'll see quite a few. You see quite a lot of speed rail, and then you'll see quite a few.
You see a lot of those. We see but just as an example, that tiny little clamp has 100 kilos safe working load. You're never ever going to find a fixture that's anywhere near that attaches to that.
Well, not with an M6 hole. So they're very much overrated, but that's the idea. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
And that's sort of an overview of the range.
Yeah, if you want to see even more, have a look at the website, and the range is absolutely colossal. We haven't got enough time to go and show all of it. But thanks very much for listening.
Thank you.